Hello and welcome to the iva.co.uk Debt Evening. Now, we've got some great speakers coming up during the live debate that will be happening a bit later on. But before and after that, I'll be asking some of the guests and some of the contributors why they're here and whether they found iva.co.uk a useful tool. Why don't you start by telling us what your name is?
I'm David Nettleton. Yes?
And David, why have you come along to the Debt Evening today?
Well, I came along because I found iva.co.uk on the web and I looked at that, and then I posted a few comments on there, and lo and behold I had an email requesting would I like to attend, would I be interested in coming along, and so yeah, here I am.
So have you found iva.co.uk a useful tool?
I'm not an IVA holder, so I don't find it as a useful tool. I'm in financial services, so I was looking at it from a point of view of are people getting the right advice, and I think yes they are with the forum, and it's working very, very well for people. I think there's a lot of ambulance chasers out there that are perhaps not doing the right thing, and I think that perhaps iva.co.uk can help protect against that. Unfortunately, I don't think people might find iva.co.uk until it's perhaps too late.
And why do you think the debt crisis does seem to be worsening in the UK?
Debt crisis worsening in the UK. I think if you go back to the 80s, and I said early 90s that Dennis Lawson, the Chancellor had got interest rates falsely low, Margaret had them. And I think that that's happened again this time round, and I actually see the property crash coming around. And I think it was far too easy and affordable for people to borrow, and so they have done. And it's just wound up and people have paid credit with credit and used credit to service credit.
And what do you think we can do to help people in the future as moving forward?
I think it's to help people in the future. I think it's a re-education, and I think it's a long-term thing because you'd have to gradually reduce the amount that they can borrow and make it more affordable or more sensible. So, but that in the long run would help people. It wouldn't help the institutions, but they'd find something else to do with it, you know.
And finally, what are you hoping to take away from this evening?
Well, from this evening, I'd like to learn about, from the speakers and the attitudes of the insolvency practitioners on the panel, and I think that I'm going to hear something from some of the lenders that are in the boat, so maybe I'll get an insight from that, and I can then help my clients, because I do a lot of debt consolidation work, and sometimes it's not always the right thing. I do tell people, no, bite the bullet, dump it, you know, yeah. So, you know, it's a learning curve.
Excellent, thank you very much.
My name's Paula, and coming along this evening to just find out about debt awareness. That's about it.
So, have you had experience of sort of debt and lending yourself?
Yeah, I've been a student, so I've got quite a lot of debt from student days, which I've not started paying back yet. So I'm quite aware about that, and would like to know ways of how to pay it back and the best ways, really. Like that.
So, would you like to sort of cut up your credit cards?
Yes, definitely like to cut up my credit cards. I've now stopped getting store cards just so I don't get any more debt, and only use my credit card for emergencies, so I'm getting better.
Do you think generally though we've forgotten how to save for things and it's all too easy to get credit?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just you get offered credit cards way too easily, so it's too easy when you haven't got enough money in the bank just to go, I'll just put on my credit card. And you get into loads and loads of debt, and then you realise you've got to pay it back.
Why do you think more and more people are in debt in the UK?
Because there's probably more and more things that people want readily available right now. So they want to go on holiday now. They don't want to have to save for it, so they just put it on the credit card and get it straight away, rather than having to save and make it worthwhile and get it next year. Kind of thing, so.
My name's Tony Parsons, and I'm a mortgage broker. I'm on the forum as a Welsh boy, and my company is All Mortgage Products.
And why are you here this evening?
Why am I here? Good question. To learn. I've been working in financial services for numerous years, but I'm on the forum and I'm trying to educate myself, and also to come and meet the people that are also giving advice. Although we email and speak, in some cases I've never met them, so it's nice to just meet up and put a face to a name.
Now, do you think the debt crisis is getting worse in the UK?
Yes, I certainly do. The amount of calls that I'm getting now has increased probably tenfold from what it was 3-4 years ago.
Why do you think we have sort of forgotten to save and we have this sort of credit society?
I don't know is the honest answer to that. If I was to hazard a guess, I would say that we live in a I want it now society where people are thinking, well, to heck with tomorrow and saving for pensions and, you know, eventually paying your mortgage off. People want to, you know, the vehicle they want the furniture they want the holidays they want, and you know, money is what they need to do it, and hence people are taking out finance possibly to do that. In some cases it could be the breakdown of relationships or loss of work, and people are looking for, you know, extra funding on the credit cards or loans to make up for that. You know, all cases are different.
So have you been finding IVA.co.uk an interesting tool? Do you think that it's a good website? Have you been using it a lot?
Unbelievably interesting. I tend to log on there first thing in the morning. I look if there's anything that I think that I need to advise on. I tend to advise solely on, you know, people that are making inquiries mortgage related. Having just said I've worked in financial services for numerous years, I'm learning so much from people that have been through the IVA process and from people that are giving the advice, you know, the professionals that are giving the IVA advice. I think it's just a massive learning curve, and in my sphere of work it's just going to get more and more, so I need to know what's going on.
Hi, my name's Steve, and I'm actually here because I want to actually have a look at see what's happening in debt management today. Basically, there are so many problems going on today, and why people actually go into debt in the first place. You know, that's one of the major things, and it'll be interesting to see, looking at the panel, which I actually log on to the website quite a lot, and it'll be interesting to see what the panel actually comes up with to answer the questions. Basically, I've got this list here: why are insolvencies on the rise? You know, that's one of the main things. The question, and that's it. Why are they? You know, what reasons do we get? I don't want to spend too much time myself talking about these, but I'll just quickly go over these. And should new curbs on lending be enforced? And what are options for people in debt? Today there are so many people out there in debt. So many. I mean, years ago when I was a kid, not so many people were in debt. But today, everybody you speak to, there's a big clump of people, and so hopefully the talk today will actually help resolve some of these.
So what's your interest in debt?
My interest in debt is how does the man in the street overcome being in debt? What are the ways round it, and also how they can actually prevent going into debt as well. It's so easy for credit card companies to actually up the limits. You know, you may actually have £100 on your credit card, and they will actually just go and put it up to there you go, we've added £500, and instead of actually sort of giving it the thing up to you to say you want to raise it, they just raise it automatically. So it's things like that which is really bad. I don't think there's enough investigation into giving people credit as well. That's one of the things. Somebody who doesn't earn that much money, they can still, some of these credit card companies can still give them more money, give these checks and say, oh, you'll have 0% interest on this. Somebody will then not pay for 1 month, and then it goes straight up to like 23% again, and sort of forces them under. So does this really happen in other countries as well? What happens? How does the UK deal with things like people in debt as opposed from other companies?
Do you have personal experience of debt or lending?
Oh yes, I do. Basically, I've actually been in debt. I've gone over the limit with credit cards and sort of bank lending as well. So I'm definitely a culprit, but I'm just one thousands of people as well. So I'm here, as I mentioned earlier, to try and see some of these questions answered.
Have you been logging on to iva.co.uk?
Yes, oh yeah, definitely. I have, and that's one of the reasons why I'm actually here this evening. Is I do actually log on. It's a very good thing that people can actually share ideas as well. It's okay people being in debt and just putting their head on, in the sand and saying, "Oh no, how do I get out of it?" It's nice to be able to look at a website, look at direction to try and address these things.